for by the New World Order.
Oh, you didn't know?
You ready? Let's go!
Are you ready? I said, are you ready? Feed me.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, my name is Big Daddy Cool Vinny Apicella, and you are listening live to the most electrifying show in all of sports radio, the Sportswire. That's right, folks. We are here. Today is November 5th, 2015. It is a Thursday morning. I hope all of you have had a great week thus far, and your body is slowly getting adjusted to this time change that we had last weekend. And folks, you know what? I will say this, and I need to apologize again that I'm still feeling a little under the weather. Of course, it's a temperature change here in New England, going from 70s one day to 40s to the next, to the 70s again. You know, it's crazy weather. Hopefully, this will be the last week of the temperature roller coaster, and everybody can get their post-nasal drip out of the back of their throats and definitely get on with the rest of the winter, or the rest of the fall going into December, and then the rest of the autumn, or the winter, I should say. So, before we get to anything, let's give thanks to the best sponsor we could ever have, and that is the good old God above, the man upstairs. Let's give some thanks to him. Father God, I want to thank you for just allowing me to wake up this morning. Thank you for the opportunity to use this podcast and this vehicle that you've given me the talents and skills to utilize, just to get out there, get some sports news out there, but the most of all, have your light shine through me, Lord, and maybe some people out there want to get to know you better, get to get in the Bible, get to study the Bible, repent, and be baptized, so that I can not only see them on the streets, but also see them in heaven, Lord. I thank you for the opportunity to reach the masses and the millions upon millions of listeners out there. I want to thank you for the opportunity here, Lord. I pray for a car, I pray for my job, I pray for this podcast, and I ask all these prayers through your Son, Jesus Christ. And now, I'm going to get to a different song. I've been playing Awesome God for the past couple weeks, and actually I'm going to play a different song, giving worship to God. This guy is a Christian hip-hop artist. His name is Bizzle, and quite honestly, he's a fantastic hip-hop artist. This is one of his older songs. I actually, my buddy Redeemed got me into him. I'm going to be talking to Redeemed coming up. He wanted to get a show here on Fat Cat Radio. He just hasn't pulled the trigger yet. But I'm going to talk to him pretty soon and see how he's doing. But right now, here is Bizzle with Better Wave, right here on the Sportswire.
Yo, whatever happened to that dream that God put in us? You know, before the world told you what you wanted to be and what you needed to do to be successful.
Cornbread.
Before you saw somebody else do it and said, you know what, I need money, I'ma do that. Before you knew what money was. And what did you want to be? And why'd you let it go? Come on.
If you're getting sick of running and tired of the hustling, go for it. I tell them go for it. You got a dream that you're chasing. Well, I think you can make it. You should go for it. I tell them go for it. Follow your dream and leave the game, please. Don't be ashamed. He walk and change. Oh, there's a better way. There's a better way, shorty. There's a better way. Yeah, there's a better way.
This dedicated to the hustler that's sick of hustling. Promote nobody in the circle, tell them give it up then. Get a new group that wanna see you shoot for the stars and 2 moons. Let them follow what you do. hustling wasn't the plan, I know. Mother was struggling, pops wasn't a man, I know. But even though your father was not home, he left but he's not gone. You still got a father seated on the most high throne. When you was younger you had a dream, I know it. Selling trees of dope was just supposed to be for the moment. Keeping it going wasn't even a notion. If you believe what you hoping can be, but to be it needs your devotion. Media got us aiming to be American gangsters. Failing to tell us ain't no happy ending for gangsters. They dead or in jail, but it's never too late for change. You can be the one that paved the way if you ain't afraid.
Getting sick of running and tired of the hustling. Go for it, I tell them go for it.
Let's
You got
go.
a dream that you're chasing. Well, I think you can make it, you should go for it. I tell them go for it, follow your dream. And leave the game, please don't be ashamed. Anyone can change. Oh, there's a better way. There's a better way.
You got
There's a
options.
better way. There's a better way.
This for that chick in the strip club, tired of stripping. But her love for the money tells her not to quit it. Before she hit the stage, she swallowing shots of liquor. All cause somebody convinced her there wasn't no promise in her. She never saw a queen when looking inside a mirror. In search of encouragement, nobody would stop and give her. Nights she cries rivers and wonders if God forgives her. Pop's not in the picture, but gotta be a father figure. You a mold in your body, life is more than paper. I know it's something other than money that motivates you. Like what about your dreams, little mama? Cause I know this ain't what you wanted to be, little mama. But your sin has created you a lifestyle that you can't afford if you quit, so you tied down. You can be free, but it may take you giving the devil back everything he ever gave you.
You getting sick of running and tired of the hustling. Go for it, I tell them go for it. You got a dream that you're chasing. Well, I think you can make it, you should go for it. I tell them go for it, follow your dream. And leave the game, please don't be ashamed. Anyone can change. Oh, there's a better way. There's a better way, shorty. There's a better way. There's a better way.
I know you get the feeling like you don't have an option, but that's just a lie they say. Cause I was on that same road, I was on this payroll, lost in the same old thing. Know that it's a better way that ain't as easy. Place your faith in the Lord, you can't believe me. I'm just telling you what I know, God is who I follow. Forget about your past, let him change your tomorrow.
If you're getting sick of running and tired of the hustling, go for it. I tell them go for it. You got a dream that you're chasing. Well, I think you can make it, you should go for it. I tell them go for it, follow your dream. And leave the game, please don't be ashamed. Anyone can change. Oh, there's a better way. There's a better way, shorty. There's a better way. There's a better way.
Cornbread.
All right, that was Bizzle with Better Way right here on the Sportswire. All right, before we get into any other part of the show, I gotta give a shout out to my awesome sponsors, the sponsors of Fat Cat Radio. We got Wayne Jones from Black Lion Entertainment Music Group. He has let me know that he's listening today, so I want to thank him for the support of Fat Cat Radio. Also, Jerry Wilson from It's So Real Productions and Stay Blessed Productions, as well as Sister Sue's Homemade Jams and Jellies, and also M&J Video Games and Collectibles, or Video Games and First Base Sports Cards and Collectibles in Southington and Wallingford, Connecticut. Definitely check them out, because check them all out on Facebook, and give them your love, give them their support, and big thanks for helping to support Fat Cat Radio and the Sportswire. Also, all the ways to listen to us and get in touch with the Sportswire. First of all, if you're listening on Spreaker, there is a chat option. Just to let me know what you're thinking, what you're feeling. If you have any questions, send us your thoughts and whatever you want to send us. There is a chat option on Spreaker. That's if you're listening to Spreaker. That's Spreaker.com/show/sports-wire. And that way you can get right in touch with us. Also, Facebook.com/SportswireCT. Facebook.com/FatCatRadioEnterprise. Also on www.swe-ct.com and www.myfatcatradio.com. You can also find us on Twitter, Tout, SoundCloud, Instagram, Foursquare, Pinterest, Periscope even, and Snapchat as well, SWE Connecticut. And then on Skype, Google Plus, and YouTube, it's Sportswire SWE. Now, last week I did announce that we stopped the simulcast between YouTube and Fat Cat Radio simply because the computer that I have just isn't fast enough, and the YouTube feed was getting very choppy. So I just wanted to let you guys know that at some point we'll if we get a better computer or a better studio or some more people to work on here, then we'll go back to the simulcast. But right now we'll stick with Fat Cat Radio. Okay, I want to kind of go over a little bit. You heard the song by Bizzle called "Better Way" that I just played it, and you know it's true. God gives you a better way to do things, and it may not be the easiest way. Believe me, I know that for a fact. I've been there, I've done that, I've been to the bottom of the barrel. But you know what, I want to give you some encouragement right now. For those of you that have Bibles, or a Bible app like I do on my phone, I've actually got two of them. I've got the Bible app and I've got the Bible Gateway app. I'm going to give you a scripture right now, Matthew 11:28-30, and it says this, it's Jesus talking. Come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you and learn from me, for I am gentle and humble in heart, and you will find rest for your souls. For my yoke is easy and my burden is light. And that's coming directly from the Son of God himself. The fact is, Satan wants us to think that his way is easier. Because you know what it is. You conform to the world, you do whatever you want to do. And, whether it be addiction to anything. It doesn't necessarily have to be drugs or alcohol. It could be an addiction to porn. It could be an addiction to sex. It could be an addiction to smoking. And all that seems easy. Or even an addiction to food. Stuff that's not necessarily illegal, but it's bad for your health. Because remember, our bodies are temples for God. And we need to treat them as such. Now, I'm not saying that you have to live your life like Christ and be perfect. You have to try to strive to be like Christ. But the fact is, we're human. We're going to screw up. I'm going to screw up. I've screwed up in the past numerous times. And everybody out there is, do not let it get you down. The fact is exactly like Bizzle said, turn your life around. It may mean giving the devil back everything he ever gave you. But you know what? You that's what it comes down to. Is that the addiction is what makes you feel good. Because the addiction, whether it be to drugs, alcohol, money, food, sex, porn, anything, okay? It releases the endorphins that makes you happy, okay? How much happier will you be when after you leave your body in this world, in this earth, and you go up to heaven for eternal life instead of hell and burning? I know I don't want that. All right, so let me also put it this way. I just want to explain a little bit why the new format. And like I said, I apologize if you hear a couple of sniffles. I'm trying not to, but sometimes it just happens without me thinking about it. And it's simply because, like I said, I'm feeling under the weather. It's New England weather here for you. But let me just explain something to you, why the new format. First of all, the reason why I give praise to God above everything, even before mentioning our sponsors, okay, is simply because I'm giving my first fruits to God. The very first thing I do when I come on is I worship. I give some worship, give some praise, give some thanks, because that's what it needs to be. That's why I do the prayer and I do the worship song, because that's the way it's got to be. Excuse me, folks. I had to mute myself for a second, just simply because I had a sneeze. And, like I said, sneezes don't always give you the opportunity to do it the way you want to do it. They come up whenever they feel like it. But, regardless of that fact, the reason why I ended up doing this new format is because I needed to give thanks to God. Okay? I've been through a rough time, and you know what? I started to see myself conforming to the world, conforming to where the world wanted me to be. Okay, and because with the sex, the drugs, the rock and roll, and that whole stereotypical radio industry. Okay, and the swearing and the cursing and this and that. You know what? The fact of the matter is this. God has saved me from a lot, and whether or not you can see it, God has saved you from a lot. The fact that you wake up every single morning and you're able to walk, you're able to work, you're able to do whatever you have to do for your family is a blessing from God. Don't let anybody else tell you differently, because that's exactly what it is. It's a blessing from God. My car broke down over a month ago, all right, and I've been having to borrow my landlord's car to get back and forth to work and back and forth to wherever I've had to go. He's been gracious enough to and hospitable enough to do that. If I was living anywhere else, that would have never happened. I would have been screwed, in no uncertain terms. And I count my blessings every day. Sometimes your brain has to get out of the way of your heart. And I know for me, I'm a big thinker. Okay, I think a lot about a lot. And it's hard for me to wrap my head around the idea that God is all-powerful. He's omnipotent. He's omnipresent. He's everywhere all the time. He's the past, the present, the future all at one time. Okay? And even though my heart knows it, it's hard for my head to wrap it around. And the idea is that sometimes you just have to take a step out on faith. And I went to our midweek last night. Yes, I've started going back to the Greater Hartford Church of Christ, because you know what? That's where God showed me I needed to be. The fact that I'm living here in New Britain, and the fact that every other church that I've tried, nothing against them, the message was awesome, and the other churches, the music was great, but I wasn't getting that fellowship. And fellowship is where you actually see Jesus in the church. Because remember, a church is not a building. For those of you that think that you need to go to a building or a certain church, quote unquote, building to be in church, you're wrong. Wherever two or more are gathered in His name, Jesus is there with you. And the fact is, you could go to a church building and not be at church, because you can hide the true meaning of church with the music, with the message, with every kind of little fluff that you want. The fact remains, are the people that attend the church living like Christ, living like, dare I say, the first century disciples? Where if you look at the Bible in Acts chapter 2 and the whole beginning of the book of Acts, you read about the first century church, and what they shared everything. People went out and sold all their possessions to give to the poor. And I want to thank Wayne Jones for pointing this out. Keeping God first puts you on a path to receive all that you need, and that's the truth. If you give your first fruits to God, everything else falls into place. And that's what I'm trying to be thankful for now, and that's what I'm trying to do now. And, I've still got God's got a lot of work to go on me, believe me. But you know what? I'm always going to be a work in progress, and so are you. So I want to give you that little bit of encouragement to, just focus on God. And, I know that that's going to piss some people off, because there's atheists out there, there's Jews out there, there's Muslims out there. Fact of the matter is this: regardless of your creed or doctrine, comes back to love. Okay? If we start treating people in this country, in this world, with love, that's where God shows. You don't have to call Him God. You don't have to worship. You don't have to do anything. But if you treat people, everybody, black, white, Asian, Latino, Muslim, Jew, Christian, homosexuals, transsexuals, bisexuals, transgenders, it doesn't matter. If you treat everybody that you see walking down the street on a daily basis with love, that's God. There's no need for hate in this world. If you treat everybody with love, that's God. And after that, and okay, there's my there's my 20-minute rant, or whatever it was, 10-minute rant, and 10-minute, style of encouragement. But you know what? I've always said Sportswire is one of those shows where anything can be talked about, anything can happen, and usually does. And that's exactly what it comes down to, is the fact of, it's whatever comes to my mind. It's my show. This is a vehicle. And you know what? A lot of times I won't, all the time, Sportswire is ad-libbed. Okay? I don't write a script. I don't write a outline. Sometimes I know there are things I want to talk about that I don't get to. Sometimes there are things I don't really care about talking about that I go on for 20 minutes about. So it's whatever comes to mind. And that's exactly what the Sportswire is all about. All right? Now, I'm going to get to a song. And I'm going to go with one of our favorite artists here at the Sportswire, AJ Jansen. Her song is Dirty Country. So here's AJ Jansen right now here on the Sportswire with Dirty Country.
On the banks of a bayou, on a well-beaten path, and the songs of the Southland coming on full blast. Gonna take on the night, we'll be early morning light. Gonna stay out till the cows come home. Give me some low down, hold down, buck kicking kind of sound that makes me wanna dance. Give me some earth shaking, love making, heartbreaking, motorists until getting kind of trash. Give me something real, something kind of sultry. Give me some dirty country. About the time I turned 18, I was down in New Orleans, making nice with all the locals in this town. Oh, the music spoke to me, and I knew I had to be the luckiest girl in this country bluesy crowd. Give me some low down, hold down, ball kicking kind of sound that makes me wanna dance. Give me some earth shaking, love making, heartbreaking, motorists until getting kind of trash. Give me something real, something kind of sultry. Give me some dirty country. Give me some low down, hold down, ball kicking kind of sound that makes me wanna dance. Give me some earth shaking, love making, heartbreaking, motorists until getting kind of trash. Give me something real, oh, something kind of sultry. Give me some dirty country. Give me some low down, hold down, ass kicking kind of sound that makes me wanna dance. Give me some earth shaking, love making, heartbreaking, motorists until getting kind of trash. Give me something real, something kind of sultry. Give me some dirty country. Give me some dirty country. Give me some D-I-R-T-Y country.
All right, and that was AJ Jansen with Dirty Country right here on the Sportswire. And I have to say I really enjoy this new format of the Sportswire. I was getting too much, like I said, getting too much into the worldly garbage and worrying about ratings, worrying about, granted, I want my audience, I want the millions upon millions of Big Daddy Cool's fans to listen, but the fact is I want God to know that this is for him. He gave me the talents, he gave me the skills, and this is all for him. All right, so we got to get to our namesake, sports. So we're going to start off with the NFL. NFL week number 9 begins tonight, and that is Cleveland Browns at Cincinnati. Okay, from all stories out, Johnny Manziel will be getting his second start of the season, and Josh McCown, I think that's his name. Yeah, Josh McCown is hurt. His shoulder is hurt, so he will be out for a while. And so Johnny Manziel gets the start tonight against the undefeated Cincinnati Bengals. Who would have thought the Bengals would be 7-0? That's unheard of. But you know what, they are. And tonight is going to be a great game. Remember, tonight starts exclusively on NFL Network. So if you don't get NFL Network, I recommend going over to your local sports pub or Buffalo Wild Wings to watch it. Or I'm sure you could listen to it on Westwood One on any of the ESPN radio affiliates around the country. So check it out. Again, tonight it's Cleveland and Cincinnati. Now, going into the weekend matchups, the Sunday games. Okay? The 1 p.m. game, St. Louis Rams at Minnesota Vikings. Green Bay travels to Carolina, which is going to be a great game because remember, Carolina is still undefeated. Green Bay has 1 loss. This is going to be a good game. This is going to prove whether or not Cam Newton has what it takes in him to keep the Carolina Panthers going. Because Cam Newton against Aaron Rodgers, right now, all arrows point towards Aaron Rodgers. But I want to see if Cam Newton can come through and keep Carolina undefeated. That's going to be a great game. The Redskins at New England. Look for the Patriots to stay undefeated and go to 8-0. Tennessee goes into New Orleans. Miami goes into Buffalo. Jacksonville at the Jets, which is going to be a pretty good game. I mean, both of them are kind of on the ropes right now, but I look for that game to be okay. Oakland at Pittsburgh. Hopefully Roethlisberger can get back to his form. He had a slow game last week as his first game back from injury, but and a heartbreaking loss. The Giants travel over to the Tampa Bay. That's the start of the 4 o'clock games. So the Buccaneers and the Giants. Atlanta goes out to San Francisco. And here's the thing. I think San Francisco is realizing that the end is almost near. They traded Vernon Davis, who has been a mainstay in the 49ers. And one of their key guys, they traded him to Denver at the trade deadline. So they're probably saying, and they also benched Kaepernick in lieu of putting Blaine Gabbert out at quarterback. So they're making some changes there, trying to salvage their season or at least help other teams. So they traded Vernon Davis to Denver and sat Kaepernick this week. So it's going to be a whole new 49ers offense. Then Denver travels over to Indianapolis, which look for Denver to stay undefeated because Andrew Luck is not playing the way he should be playing. He's going through some hard times right now, and the Colts just fired their offensive coordinator. And well, let me finish the matches, then I'll get to that because I have a couple of ideas about that, and then the Sunday night 8:30 game, Philadelphia and Dallas. It's going to be a great game. The Eagles and the Cowboys. And look for the Eagles to win. Cowboys, are right now in the gutter, but they've had a lot lose a lot. They lost a lot with Tony Romo still out and Des Bryant still out, but it's one of those things where the Cowboys, they need to focus. Number one, first of all, again, let me just finish it. And then the Monday night game, Chicago at San Diego. And there's actually 6 teams on bye this week. There's the Cardinals, there's the Chiefs, the Lions, the Ravens, the Texans, and the Seahawks. Wait a minute, I thought the Texans were already playing. Hold on. No, that's Tennessee. Okay, so 6 teams on bye this week. All right, so couple thoughts I had. First of all, with going back to Indianapolis, the fact they fired their offensive coordinator. Hold on, who's out there? This is what I don't understand about why teams insist on firing the coaches and the. Don't get me wrong. If a coach is not doing his job, he should be fired. But when it comes to people who aren't on the field playing, why is it that they're the ones getting fired? Quite honestly, if they're not on the field playing, then it's really honestly not their fault as to why a team is not playing up to potential. It's the guys on the field. You just passed the trading deadline. You should have tried to up your offense a little bit, or up your defense a little bit. Not fire a coach. A coach is not out there. Granted, if his plays aren't working, or if he's not meshing well with the quarterback, or or whatever, then there's something wrong there. But the offensive coordinator, I forget his name, it escapes me right now, but had been with Andrew Luck even in college. So obviously they had a really good rapport with each other. So why is it that he gets fired instead of, let's say, benching Andrew Luck for a game to get his head on straight and going with their backup quarterback? Or let's get another wide receiver in here. Maybe our wide receiver. Let's get another offensive lineman in there. Maybe give Andrew Luck some more time to make some passes. That's the smart thing to do. But instead they go they go after and fire the offensive coordinator. That's like saying, okay, well, Jeff Gordon is not driving well in NASCAR, so let's fire the pit crew chief. What does that have to do with anything? Let's fire the guy that changes the tires during the pit stops. Unless you're a moron and you're not changing the tires quick enough, it's really not your fault. It's Jeff Gordon's driving. Or let's fix the car and whatever. But, it's it's like Tiger Woods. Like in golf. Let's say Tiger Woods isn't playing right. Instead of, Tiger Woods, fixing his game or whatever, let's fire the caddy. Let's fire his limo driver. It makes no damn sense. All right, now with Dallas, the Cowboys, okay, obviously Tony Romo's hurt. Matt Castle just doesn't have enough time to get the offensive down. Des Bryant is finally back, but it still wasn't good enough for Dallas to win last week. But the fact remains that Jerry Jones needs to just step back. Okay, I can understand Jerry Jones wanting to have a hand in his investment, the fact that he owns the Cowboys, but it's almost like when George Steinbrenner was owner of the Yankees. Now, don't get me wrong, I think George was a fantastic owner. I'm a big Yankees fan, and he did fantastic team. But you know what? He wanted to be hands-on with the team, but he still had a general manager, in Brian Cashman, or before him, whoever it was. He's that's the person. He had input. Hank and Hal Steinbrenner, in my opinion, don't have the cojones that their father did, and that's why they're the Yankees aren't making the moves that they should. But that's neither here nor there. It's baseball season's over. I'll talk about off-season baseball in a couple of weeks when we start getting better and closer to spring training. But Jerry Jones needs to hire a general manager, because as a general manager and an owner, he's just, he's making all the decisions himself about guys he likes. Now, don't get me wrong, it would have been great to bring Adrian Peterson there because they're good friends, but, Minnesota wouldn't let him go. But he needs to let Jason Garrett, who's the coach, really have more of a hand in getting the offense together, getting the team together. And that's, that's the biggest downfall for the Cowboys, especially now. It's like, yeah, the Cowboys were America's team back in the, the 90s when Troy Aikman was there and Emmitt Smith was there and Deion Sanders and Michael Irvin. But, it's still not, it's not to where it was. They haven't won a Super Bowl in how long? Think about that. Maybe Jerry Jones needs to take a back seat. We went over the standings already on Monday, and, the Monday night game last week was a slobber knocker, to say the least. And, it was just one of those things where It was just absolutely fantastic last week. So now we're going to go into actually. I want to thank Wayne Jones. He's not only listening to the show, but he's also providing a lot of feedback. Let me just give you what he's given so far about the NFL. Jets have to bounce back this week against a tough team. Absolutely. Jacksonville started at the top of their league. They're under 500 now, but they are a tough team. Then he agreed with me about the Indianapolis situation, about fixing the offense. And then, the Cowboys are hurting too much to make an impact right now. He's another Steinbrenner, but he doesn't have the impact that Steinbrenner had. And that's the truth. I mean, comparing Steinbrenner to Jerry Jones is like, it's a little different in terms of, how the thought process goes in terms of baseball to football. But it still comes back to the same fact that if you're an owner, you own the team, and granted you want your team to win, but that means you have to hire the right guys. And let me put it this way, let me make another comparison. Vince McMahon, okay? He is obviously the absolute best sports entertainment promoter out there, but he's starting to lose touch with the reality and his his audience, okay? Because of the simple fact that look at NXT. Triple H has complete control over NXT, and look at how much better, in my opinion, NXT is better than the main roster right now in the WWE. So Vince has to, as a good owner, he has to put the people in place that are going to make his brand successful. It's the same thing with Jerry Jones. He has to put the people in place to make his team successful. Okay? That's where the difference comes with Jerry Jones and George Steinbrenner. Steinbrenner put the people in place to make the Yankees successful. Look at those years, Brian Cashman came in after Reggie, I believe it was Reggie Jackson who was GM for a while, and then Brian Cashman came in, if I'm not mistaken. I could be mistaken. But when they had Cashman and Joe Torre, when they had Cashman and Joe Torre together, Cashman brought in the guys. Jeter obviously was a homegrown talent. Then they brought in Tino Martinez when Mattingly left. They brought in, Wade Boggs. They brought in the guys. They put the puzzle together. That's what a good owner does. He puts the pieces of the puzzle together. Now, granted, in baseball, there's no salary cap. There's a royalty tax or luxury tax if your salary goes over $200 and something million a year, but there's no salary cap. If you don't mind paying the luxury tax, you could have $1 billion salary for the year, which they're getting close. Believe me, the Dodgers are getting up there too. And there's another team, the Dodgers. They don't have, they just got rid of Don Mattingly. Okay, maybe he wasn't their boy. He was inherited, because he took over after Joe Torre left. But again, it's about putting the pieces together. You make the trades, you make the offseason, the free agent talent. Now, obviously, in football, there's a salary cap, so you got to be able to work within the cap. But, that's what needs to be done. Jerry Jones has to hire a general manager. When Jerry Jones had Jimmy Johnson there, Jimmy Johnson was almost like Joe Torre, when it comes to the dynamic. Jimmy Johnson was able to tame Jerry Jones, which is why he was so successful in Dallas. Joe Torre was able to tame George Steinbrenner, which is why he was so successful as a Yankees manager. So that's what you have to do, in my opinion. All right, let me just go over quickly our fantasy football, the SWE Powerhouse. Remember, I'm in the Football on the Farm League under ESPN. Right now, a very disappointing 3-5. However, I did win last week against the South Bronx Bullies. We pulled it out. This week, we're playing Fantasy Jinx, and I'm projected to win 103-94. We'll see if that actually happens, because I have no choice but to start Roethlisberger because my backup Carson Palmer's on a bye. Last week, I was kind of upset about not starting Palmer, even though we won. We ended up winning, but again, gotta, that's what it was. So we had, you get guys on the bench that break out, and but like I said, we still won. Let me go over our team standings right now, our league standings. Here we go. In the Yellow Conference, Fantasy Jinx is 5-3. The South Bronx Bullies are 3-5. The Bobby Sack Attack are 3-5. The PSI New England, good gracious, I didn't realize he changed his name again, 2-6, and the Walking Des are 2-6. In the darker shade of yellow conference, Deflated Balls are 7-1. The Renegades and the Purple Cobras are tied with 6-2. And then myself and Big Airy Balls are tied at 3-5. So I'm still fighting for a playoff spot. Top 8 go, and I'm playing the first place team in the darker shade in the yellow conference this week. So that's our fantasy report. All right, I'm going to go to a song now by a good friend of the Sportswire. It's Dean Wild. Here's the Garden of Eden right now on the Sportswire.
Garden of Eden, I'm dancing through the Garden of Eden. Garden of Eden, I'm dancing through the Garden of Eden. I'm lyrically on another level, got my dancing shoes on, but I ain't dancing with the devil. So don't go mentioning my name, boy. I'd rather sit here playing the games on my Game Boy. You know I've been on top of my game, boy. I'm just spreading love so we can all share the same joy, yeah. It feels good, don't it? Still got a long way to go, but we came a long way from it, oh. I'm repping the South, but I'm from the North, though. Home of the Raptors, we shooting free throws. This is my Michael Jordan year, I'm on my MVP flow. Look at me go, maybe it's just my ego. I got real followers and they go wherever we go. Dude's got 1 million followers, but none in real life. Yeah, they got the views up, but that don't mean the point of view's right. Now follow me as I'm dancing through the Garden of Eden. The Garden of Eden, I'm dancing through the Garden of Eden. Yeah, the Garden of Eden, I'm dancing through the Garden of Eden.
Yeah, alright, look, so I'm dancing through the Garden of Eden. I got my shoes on, laced up, ready to go. Let's get this ball on, I'm on my ball wherever I go. In my garden, I'm the sunlight that helps nature to grow. It's only natural I blow, like the wind in the leaves. I'm so breezy, fresh lemon squeezy. Chilling in the garden where needs aren't really needed. Flaws aren't seen, cause we just focus on breathing. Like, I'm just trying to let y'all in for the first time. Please don't make me have to think twice about being nice. Come take a walk with me in the garden that I sowed. Only with the best seeds, come with me and you'll see. No Wonka, but life with me is so sweet. I'm just trying to eat and then feed. Get up on my feet and then leap. Frog over obstacles, all dreams are possible. Even when you wake up, dance to the beat of life. Cause everything's gonna be alright. Take my hand and let's dance in the Garden of Eden. In the Garden of Eden. Take my hand and let's dance in the Garden of Eden. In the Garden of Eden. Take my hand and let's dance.
This is Baby Doll from WSLA 1560 AM's The Sports Guru Show, and you're listening to Sportswire. It's the hottest sports show in entertainment.
That's right, this is the hottest sports show in entertainment, but you know what's even bigger than that? It is the most electrifying sports show in sports radio today, the Sportswire. So I want to thank Baby Doll from WSLA in Louisiana, New Orleans, and the Sports Guru Show. Check them out on Facebook. It was definitely good of her to be able to do that for me. But you know what? We've had a good show so far today. Talk about NFL, made some good comparisons, and you know what? It's a good show. It's a good show. All right, and now we've got to move on. There have been a lot of rumors swirling around the. I go to WrestleZone.com for my wrestling news and notes and all that kind of stuff. There have been rumors going around that Survivor Series coming up on November 22nd. The Undertaker and Kane as the Brothers of Destruction reuniting to take on the Wyatt family in a 2-on-4 elimination match. Now, it's not set in stone yet, okay? Because here's the deal. The fact that it's not set in stone yet is a good thing because there have been rumors swirling. Sting has been cleared to wrestle after his injury at Night of Champions. Could we see Sting come back to join up with the Dead Man and the Demon Kane at the Survivor Series, thus possibly setting up Undertaker and Sting at WrestleMania in Dallas? Now, the WWE has, let's say 4 months to go. First of all, yesterday, pre-sale tickets officially went on sale for WrestleMania 32 in Dallas. Okay, there have been numerous pre-sale codes online. One of them was Phenom. One of them was Undertaker. One of them was Dallas. There's been a ton of them. Okay, so if you got your tickets, congratulations. I am proud of you. Try to fit me in your suitcase because I want to go. But regardless of that, okay, I'll be sitting here at home watching it on WWE Network. The fact is, we still have, let's say, 5 months, okay? Right now, the WrestleMania plans are starting to take effect, okay? And you have The Undertaker and Kane, who The Undertaker is working, obviously, more this year than he has in years past, because this is probably his swan song. This is his retirement tour, so to speak. I see him retiring after WrestleMania, okay? So he's going to end up facing Sting in what I hope to be, and then hopefully Sting and The Undertaker both go into the Hall of Fame the night before, as the second and third active superstars going into the Hall of Fame, because they both deserve it. This year's Hall of Fame is going to be quite interesting, because I really do think that the Fabulous Freebirds should go in. Michael P.S. Hayes definitely deserves, and it's been almost a rib on him that, they haven't gone in. They had, the ones in Houston that he could have gone in, and, he just hasn't. So now that he's going to be in Dallas, and the Freebirds were big and world class at the Sportatorium, he deserves to go in. Now, in terms of the Fabulous Freebirds, they obviously deserve to go in, but here's a question that comes up. Should it be the original Freebirds, where it was Michael P.S. Hayes, Terry Gordy, and Buddy Roberts, or and should Jimmy Jam Garvin be included in that, because he was part of the Freebirds in WCW? I think all 4 of them should go in. Because obviously, if you think about it, the Freebirds mainly in WCCW feuded with the Von Erichs. That was when it was 3 guys. And obviously Michael P.S. Hayes was the glue that had, the only common denominator. But I think Jimmy Garvin should be included in that, because he was just as good in the Freebirds. He was part of that Freebird philosophy. I don't know why they switched. I have to actually watch the backstory of, the Freebirds as to why they switched. And maybe that's a good thing for me to Wikipedia before next Monday's episode. That's what I'm gonna have to find out, why they switched and took out, Buddy Roberts and Terry Gordy and put Jimmy Jam Garvin in there. But either way, he's still a Freebird. But I do want to see Michael P.S. Hayes go in. He deserves it. Okay, I kind of got off on a tangent right there. Undertaker and Kane against the Wyatts, and they don't know whether it's going to be a 2-on-4 or a 4-on-4 traditional Survivor Series matchup, elimination tag, which would be great, because who's going to step up? All right, let's say Sting comes back. Okay, you got Sting, Undertaker, and Kane. Who's going to be the 4th member of that all-star team? Cena's out. Orton's out. Roman Reigns is already facing Seth Rollins. You can't put somebody like Dean Ambrose in there, because Ambrose is... first of all, I'd like to see Ambrose challenge Kevin Owens for the Intercontinental title. That would be a fantastic matchup. But who's going to be that 4th guy? That, you got to think of, it's got to be somebody with a legend status. Okay? Kane and The Undertaker, Sting, they've all been around for 20 plus years. Undertaker actually celebrating his 25th anniversary at Survivor Series. But would it be Flair? Is he in good enough shape? No, wouldn't be Flair. Obviously, it's not going to be Hogan, but it's got to be somebody that kind of has that kind of a persona that, has been around for a while, and it has that kind of a dark persona. So who could it be? That's a good question. I don't have that answer. I really don't. If I did, then, I would tell you, but I don't know what they're going to go in. But I would love to see Sting team with The Undertaker and Kane. That's the big rumor right now, going forward with Survivor Series news and notes. Also announced for the official matches for the Survivor Series is obviously Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. And you have Paige against Charlotte for the... I'm going to stop saying divas, okay, for the WWE Women's Championship. I don't like the term divas. I think it just really lessens down the effect. It's women's wrestling. They're not divas, okay? Maybe the Bella Twins are, but you know what? In terms of the new crop of wrestlers coming up, no, they're women wrestlers. So for the Women's Championship, it's Charlotte and Paige. Wayne Jones just messaged me and said Cena would be the partner for Undertaker, Kane, and on Sting. Unfortunately, that's not going to happen. They're looking to have Cena come back at TLC or the night after TLC to get his title back from Alberto Del Rio, and the reason being that Cena is actually off filming a reality show right now, and some kind of a reality series, and WWE gave him some time off for that. He's not going to be. He's going to be back at TLC to get his title back from Alberto Del Rio. Speaking of which, with Alberto Del Rio coming out, and with Zeb Coulter, and now they're doing that whole Mex America angle, which I really think it's a rib on Donald Trump, because that whole, build the wall in Mexico and every Mexican is a rapist and everything. First of all, I need to address that. I saw on USA Today, there's so many people saying that Donald Trump is a racist. That is just not true. He did not say that all Mexicans were rapists, okay? All he simply said were, we have too many illegal Mexicans here in the country, and they need to go back home, because how many of the illegals are involved in gang activity and drug dealing and, all that kind of stuff? That's what he meant. He's not against Mexicans, okay? He's simply saying what everybody else has been saying for a while, but nobody had the balls to say it in public, okay? Now, when it comes to, Alberto Del Rio and Jack Swagger, I think there's a pretty good feud. I'd love to see Jack Swagger actually have some kind of, program to do, because he's been off TV for like 8 months ever since Zeb Coulter went out from Rusev. And, he's a great talent. They got to utilize him. I mean, yeah, he's got the lisp that it's hard to it's hard to listen to him talk, which is why they gave him Zeb Coulter in the first place. But, with Alberto Del Rio having the U.S. title, and he's back, which has actually caused some controversy in AAA. And I don't mean the American Automobile Association. I mean the Mexican wrestling organization, AAA, the Lucha Libre organization, which I don't even ask me to tell you what it stands for. But the fact is, Alberto Del Rio has the Mega Championship from AAA. When he was wrestling there as Alberto El Patron. And his lawyer apparently told the WWE that Alberto Del Rio didn't have any other commitments for anybody, that he was free. AAA found out that Alberto Del Rio was going back to WWE a half hour, 30 minutes before he re-debuted at Night of Champions, or at Hell in a Cell. And that's crazy. They thought he was, that's almost as bad as Lex Luger coming out on Nitro, or Rick Rude being on Nitro and Raw at the same time, on the same night, which was crazy. But whatever the case may be, okay, I guess there were some mixed emotions. So now WWE is telling AAA that, okay, Alberto El Patron or Alberto Del Rio can be there. He could come to your event and be there, but he can't lose. Well, how else do you get a title off of somebody if he can't lose? So, allow him to do the job. That's my thought. Put somebody else over, pass the torch, whatever. It's not going to look bad in WWE's eyes or the WWE Universe's eyes, because we're all smart fans at this point. And that's what it comes down to, is, let him do what he's got to do. And that lawyer, the agent, or whoever it was that allowed WWE to think that Alberto Del Rio had no other commitments, should be fired. And that's very, very bad. All right, we're going to get to a couple more songs, actually, and this is the only show that this will ever happen on the Sportswire. We're going to go from one song that's kind of rockish, adult contemporary rock, okay, to hip-hop, back to back. And it'll only happen on the Sportswire. So, right now, we're going to go to the Mugs, okay, Should Have Learned My Lesson, right here on the Sportswire.
What's right and what's wrong. Should've got my blessing before I let that down. Should've got my blessing before I let that down. Should've known the better
straight line.
I wanna lay ya, baby, so can I lay you tonight? I'm like no other, baby, let's have a hell of a night, Alright. Place on above you, but baby, I'm not a settling tight. So sorry, baby, I can't lay you for life. Let's go.
Say you wanna roll with me, then let's go. But baby, don't fall for me, cause I'll go.
Stop with the melodrama. I mean, excuse me, mama. You want the finer things, then don't you ain't Cabana. The Louis out of Prada. I think I buy you nada. See me, I beat it up, press release and pop my collar. She hoping I'm a caller. I hope it's not a problem. Don't need no issues with you catching feelings, causing drama. I handle my business with precision and marijuana. No time for superficials. You know more baby mamas. I'm just saying, baby, I like it just the way it is. I'm talking cut friends. I seek one to cut away. See, we could touch a bit and afterwards I gotta split. I'm just telling it like it is. It's as real as it gets, yeah. I wanna lay ya, baby, so can I lay you tonight? I'm like no other, baby, let's have a hell of a night. Alright. Place on above you, but baby, I'm not a settling tight. So sorry, baby, I can't lay you for life. Let's go.
Say you wanna roll with me, then let's go. But baby, don't fall for me, cause I'll go.
Excuse me, miss, I'm sorry for interrupting. I'm sorry for misconsumption, for making something from nothing. It wasn't, or really was it? Was blinded by the assumptions, was trying to be triumphant, was ready for the becoming. I know, it's not improbable. Any obstacle's optional, making possible. We the people unstoppable. Is it logical that we can last until the end of time? I'm focused on my grind, never mind, I must decline. I wanna lay ya, baby, so can I lay you tonight? I'm like no other, baby, let's have a hell of a night. Alright. Place on above you, but baby, I'm not a settling tight. So sorry, baby, I can't lay you for life. Let's go.
Say you wanna roll with me, then let's go. But baby, don't fall for me, cause I'll go.
I wanna lay ya, baby, so can I lay you tonight? I'm like no other, baby, let's have a hell of a night. Alright. Place on above you, but baby, I'm not a settling tight. So sorry, baby, I can't lay you for life. Let's go.
All right, and that was Justin Calio with Love You Tonight. Great up-and-coming artists. You know, we started out with the Mugs, and then we went to Justin Calio. Like I said, only on the Sportswire will you hear rock to hip-hop back-to-back. Because, you know what? I don't care. No, it's because I want to promote the local talents. Okay? The local underground indie talents. That's the beauty of what Fat Cat Radio does. That's why I talk about that's why I do play-by-play for the Connecticut Panthers and EFL. Okay? Semi-pro. Alright? I'm working on trying to get the rights to do the broadcasting for the New Britain baseball team coming in. That's right, the New Britons. Well, we haven't announced the name, and they haven't confirmed nor denied that it was the Camden River Sharks coming up to New Britain. But as soon as I find out, I will let you all know. And, I'll start on that path. All right, we've had a great episode today. I want to thank our sponsors. But before we do, okay, we've got to get to our final segment of the show. That's right, our Dumb Laws of the Day, courtesy of dumblaws.com. Today we're going over to state in the Midwest, and that is in Indiana. All right, so let's see, dumb laws in Indiana. Here we go. Waitresses may not carry drinks into a restaurant or a bar. Well, if they're carrying drinks into the bar, they're obviously not serving in the bar. Hotel sheets must be exactly 99 inches long and 81 inches wide. Okay, well, what's the difference between king and queen? Or they, let me know. All right. I work in a hotel, so that sounds kind of odd. That it has to be exactly 99 by 81 when you have different, sizes of the beds. If any person has a puppet show, wire dancing, or tumbling act in the state of Indiana and receives money for it, they will be fined $3 under the Act to Prevent Certain Immoral Practices. All right. Anyone 14 or older who profanely curses, damns, or swears by the name of God, Jesus Christ, or the Holy Ghost shall be fined $1 to $3 for each offense, with a maximum fine of $10 per day. Yes. All right. A $3 fine per pack will be imposed on anyone playing cards in Indiana under the Act of the Prevention of Gambling. The value of pi is 3. Not 3.14, which, or 22 sevenths, or 3.1415, blah, 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 blah. The value of pi is 3 in Indiana. That's the law. The fact they need a law for that is hilarious. How do you put a law on a math term? Oh, for crying out Christmas. Okay. It is illegal for a man to be sexually aroused in public. Okay. You are required to pour your drink into a glass. I'm assuming instead of drinking out of the bottle. You can get out of paying for a dependent's medical care by praying for him or her. Oh, my Lord. Good God. Oh, Lord, you are good. But how do you prove that? You can get out of paying for a dependent's medical care by praying for him or her. Well, then Indiana's doctors must not make a lot of money. How many people truly go in there and say, you know what, I'm praying for, my son or my daughter or, my dependent mother. I don't have to pay this bill. If only our healthcare system was like that. Spiteful gossip and talking behind a person's back are illegal. One may not sniff glue. One man may not back into a parking spot because it prevents police officers from seeing the license plate. Well, that's why you have a license plate on the front. State government officials who engage in private duels can be dismissed from their post. I challenge you to a duel! Obviously, a lot of these laws are a lot older. A person must get a referral from a licensed physician if he or she wishes to see a hypnotist, unless the desired procedure is to quit smoking or lose weight. Okay? Smoking in the state legislature building is banned, except when the legislature is in session. Oh, wow. All males 18 to 50 years old must work 6 days a year on public roads. That's good. Giving back to the community. I like that. All right, that's good. Baths may not be taken between the months of October and March. I hope that means that you can still shower, but you just can't take baths. What about babies? I mean, wow. Between the months of October and March. Wow. Check forgery can be punished with public flogging up to 100 stripes. Mustaches are illegal if the bearer has a tendency to habitually kiss other humans. What about dogs? What about cats? It is illegal to sell cars on a Sunday. All right, we're going to get into the city laws in Indiana. Oh, well, I don't know what city this is in, but okay. Oh, more dumb laws. There's more state laws. Okay. Pedestrians crossing the highway at night are prohibited from wearing taillights. I mean, you put a pair of taillights on your behind. Oral sex is illegal. I think that's the majority of the states in the United States. No one may catch a fish with his bare hands, because nobody here is a bear. A man over the age of 18 may be arrested for statutory rape if the passenger in his car is not wearing her socks and shoes under the age of 17. How do you get that? Oh, wow. That's just crazy. Just, oh, wow. Men are prohibited from standing in a bar. It is against the law to pass a horse on the street. You are allowed to carry a cocktail from the bar to a table, or you are not allowed to carry a cocktail from the bar to a table. It is illegal for a liquor store to sell cold soft drinks, which is strange. Drinks on the house are illegal. Liquor stores may not sell milk. Drinking from your own bottle in a bar can lead to your arrest. And grocery stores may not sell any type of cold liquor. City laws in Indiana. In Beech Grove, it is forbidden to eat watermelon in the park. Okay, so I guess you can't go on a picnic and have watermelon. In Elkhart, it is illegal for barbers to threaten to cut off kids' ears. Okay? In Evansville, while driving on Main Street, you may not have your lights on. Well, what about if it's dark? In Fort Wayne, you may not sell or play on a radio broadcast the record, It's in the Book. I'll have to find that song now. It's in the book. Within 4 hours of eating garlic, a person may not enter a movie house, theater, or ride a public streetcar. Well, that's the reason for garlic. That's why nobody likes garlic breath. In Indianapolis, hopefully residents of the city have speedometers on their horses, for they cannot ride them in excess of 10 miles per hour. Yeah, let's put a speedometer on a horse. One may only throw a stone at a bird in self-defense. No one may collect rags on a Sunday. This is still in Indianapolis. In South Bend, it is illegal to make a monkey smoke a cigarette. Okay. In Terre Haute, no one may spit on the sidewalk. And finally, in Warsaw, no one may throw an old computer across the street at their neighbor. Folks, those are our dumb laws of the day, courtesy of dumblaws.com. Those are in Indiana. Oh, wow, that's just absolutely hilarious. It's been a great show. Let's go to God in prayer. Let's thank Him for everything. Father God, I want to thank You just for this opportunity to have some fun, Lord, and really have a great show today. I thank You for the skills and the talents that You give me. I pray for all the needs of myself and my audience, Lord, be it health-wise, be it financial-wise, be it whatever. I pray for my needs as well, and I thank You for those needs because it helps to give us strength. Lord, thank You for everything You do on a daily basis, and I ask all this through Your Son, Jesus Christ. Amen. All right, folks, that's it for the Sports Wire. I want to thank you for listening. Thank you to our great, not only God, but our great sponsors. Wayne Jones for actually sticking in with me and listening to the podcast today live. So Wayne Jones from Black Lion Entertainment Music Group. And then we've got Jerry Wilson from It's So Real Productions and Stay Blessed Productions, as well as Sister Sue's Homemade Jams and Jellies, and M&J Video Games and First Base Sports Cards and Collectibles in Wallingford and Southington, Connecticut. And so I want to thank you all for listening. And folks, have a great weekend. Enjoy the football. We'll be back with a live show 10 o'clock a.m. Monday morning on the Sports Wire.